Hello everyone, this is White Wolf, and I wanted to get on this live and talk about the revelation, talk about revealing stuff, talk about putting stuff out in the open, being a truth teller, but also just emitting that frequency of your abundance, emitting that frequency of what you want out of life, but also understanding that our giftings take us to uncharted waters. It takes us to places that we never dreamed of. And it also kind of thrusts us into going into a direction of more maturity, of more leadership, of more vibrancy and more aliveness and more truth within ourselves, and a sense of fulfillment, but also a sense of drive and ambition and goals, and kind of picking the needle out of the haystack and becoming the eye of the hurricane, because we allow ourselves to pierce through those veils. We allow ourselves to pierce through those illusions, and we allow ourselves to see through those illusions, and we allow ourselves to see through the truth of what we want to become. So when we allow ourselves to see through the truth of what we're supposed to be, what we're supposed to align to, what we're pulling our energy towards, and how we're gaining this prophecy, this story, this alignment, this sense of direction within our journey that changes the polarities of northeast, south, and west, but also the polarities of positive and negative. We have to see ourselves in a much different light. We have to see ourselves differently from how we used to see ourselves, and see ourselves doing things that we probably wouldn't have been doing 5, 10, 20 years ago. A lot of you have been on the path. A lot of you have aspirations and inspirations and stories to tell and books to write, and using your gifting as a way of service, as a way of putting yourself out there, as a way of putting the word out there, but also allowing everybody to develop the sense of truth, to develop the sense of using their intuitive abilities, their psychic abilities, or their meditative abilities, or their abilities with words, to be able to be the revelation for somebody so that they can follow the prophecy. So everybody has a prophecy, everybody has a story to tell, everybody has a life to live, and everybody is wondrous and beautiful in their own way, because you allow yourself to see yourself as a gift. You allow yourself to see yourself as the gifting, and you allow yourself to give the gift that keeps on giving as an act of service, as an act of standing up, as an act of shining in the light when others do not want to do that or are afraid to do that. So when we don't allow ourselves to get into fear or play into anxieties and play into limitations and expectations, we allow ourselves to encompass the true freedom. We allow ourselves to see through the truth of everything and to accept everything as it is, and to see that what we're being pulled towards is heaven on earth. We're trying to discern how we can get out of the hell and into the heaven and into the multiverse. So we have to get out of Groundhog Day, and we have to get out of our own filter and not basing everything by our emotions or our thoughts or what we see on TV and how we go about life in general. We have to go beyond the veil, and we have to go beyond the filter, and we have to look for those little needles in those haystacks and find out that we're in the absence of time. We're really in the absence of time. That there is no time. We have all the time in the world. That's when we awaken, and when we awaken, it's like everything starts over again. It means everything, the way that you process, the way that you think, the way that you feel, the way that you love is not the same way that you loved in the past. So that's why there is such a revelation with the prophecies and the children of the cosmos, and so many people that are awakening even at 40 and 50 years old, that everybody's getting this understanding that there's more to life than what meets the eye. And just because we don't see it doesn't mean that it's not there. And just because we haven't tapped into it yet doesn't mean that we haven't tapped into it. It just means that the configuration and the timing and the experience has not been addressed or been tapped into or experienced. Even though we've experienced every type of experience inside of awareness, inside of every little pixel inside of the universe, that we have reshaped our reality, we have projected within our reality, and our words have power, and our imagination has so much power. It's just how we use it. It's how we use our gift. It's how we use our perspective. It's how we live our life on a day-to-day, moment-to-moment basis, in choosing that existential bliss of existence, of choosing to exist. You're making a statement when you choose to exist. Because most people on this earth, they don't want to exist. Because they're not happy or fulfilled, or they're short, or they're small, or they have something wrong with them, or they feel like they have something wrong with them. You know? And then we discern and see that the gift of eternal life is how you make of it. Heaven on earth can be heaven on earth. The revelation of the prophecy is to know that you're living one right now, and everything has been laid before you to fulfill that prophecy. I haven't talked about like this in a long time because this used to be my message all the time. But revelation is meaning, not mealing, maybe you're eating a meal, is meaning that you're revealing something that has not yet been seen, or has been seen, but it hasn't been seen by the unseens, if that makes any sense. So it's showing people something that they have not yet learned, or adopted, or implemented within their life. It's one thing to meditate and to do it as a hobby, but to live every day walking in the essence of the Spirit, in the truth of the Spirit, and walking with the Spirit is a totally different thing than actually embracing the anointing. And really, this message is for people who are anointed and chosen, and even people who just want greater clarity within their lives because they're actually using their meditation as a way of channeling their life, addressing their life, prophesying their life, putting those smoke signals out into the universes, but also redirecting the synchronicities and the signs and the confirmations that come along the way that reveal to us our own reflections. So the revelation is the ultimate reflection. It's the reflection of mind, body, and spirit. It's the reflection of the source codes being realized. It's us realizing that we're a part of the universe. We are the universe. And it's just for us to change our inner universe that the outer universe changes with us. The way that we communicate with it, the way that we tap into frequencies, the way that we meditate. And sometimes it's as simple as just doing one of these videos, even though that some people are like, who's this guy in a hat, necklace? Who does this guy think he is? And I don't do this for my own health. I don't do this just to get online and talk and things of that nature, but people need to know, and people need to feel like they're not alone in this. Because a lot of people, when they're awakening, sometimes they're alone. Sometimes they don't have a girlfriend or a boyfriend or friends that are into this, or they don't have group sessions. So it's just kind of understanding that everybody needs community. Everybody needs like a guiding hand, but also everybody just needs to know that they're not alone in this. And then when you help them get in touch with their guides, their higher selves, or you help them with a meditation, or you just share on social media, it allows us to reveal things within ourselves and to get an understanding of what we're experiencing and the energies that we're fluctuating. Or maybe somebody's going through the dark night of the soul, or they're really sensitive and they don't understand. Because, some of my most expansive moments were just learning and walking with the Spirit. But also I had my girlfriend to help me out with that, who was my teacher in the very beginning. But we had each other to teach each other, which was very beneficial. But some people don't even have that, So I was very blessed to have that. And I did a lot of my own seeking and vice versa, It's just understanding that seeking is the breath of life, it's the gift of life, and it's just researching, reading, imbibing, meditating, healing, and just being aligned to your direct source of energy. And then when we're able to be aligned to our direct source of energy, then we open up gateways and portals and different avenues for others, but also for ourselves. And we begin to live a much different life than what we were living here and now. I always say this, we are gifted a new life, my friends. We're gifted a new life because we changed this life, we transcended this life, so that the next experience, or the state of being, or the state of consciousness, or the flow of what we're supposed to experience next in the next incarnation, rather it's on earth, is supposed to be a part of the absolute, of us really tapping into our absolute true nature of consciousness. And it's kind of getting to the understanding and getting to the grasp of not knowing. We know when we're supposed to channel, and when we're supposed to channel, we will deliver the truth and we will develop the truth, but we go at our own pace because we're not running another's race. We're running our own race. And I always tell people to really follow their own intuition, because I can give them guidance. I can do a psychic reading for people and things of that nature. But the most peak moments was spending time, even with my girlfriend, late at night talking and reading books and having experiences together that were so transcendent, and just feeling the heart of God. You know, those were my most expansive. It was the journey itself. It was the traveling. It was the experience of the new life that I was gifted, but also vice versa with her, even though she was on the path way before me. But it was just the gift of life and the journey that I was given, and that it was the grace that I was given, which was a revelation of seeing through the illusion of family, the illusion of society, the illusion of the way that we carry on a moment-to-moment, day-to-day basis, and right or wrong, and all these other things. And it's really made me see even the deceitful ways of how we don't really see ourselves as beautiful, as God, as essence, as everything, and loving everything and loving others, and really understanding that if we are gifted in the way that we are, we have something to give every single day. And for the past 4 years, I've done one of these lives almost every day, because I felt like it was always needed for people, because at the time you're making that message, it's precious because it can transcend 10, 20, 30, 40 years later down the road. And you don't even realize the lives that you touch along the way, because you're there in that present moment. But then God just is able to reflect and show you how much you are a blessing in your life, whether it's to your family or to your kids or to your spouses, or even to your students if you're a spiritual teacher. You don't realize the impact that we have, and that's the revelation. That's the prophecy. That's the truth and the essence of becoming our own gods. We're not God Almighty, but we're God manifested in the human form, quite like Jesus was. I always make this comparison, and I always dreamt up this phrase, the Oracle of Bloodline Wisdom, is because we're all oracles. We're all here to channel our guides, our higher selves through the physical body, to not limit the physical mind. And we develop a sense of love and wisdom and unity and faith and balancing the divine masculine and the divine feminine. And we balance our vortexes and our energies and our densities of consciousness so that we are a tamed lion, in a sense. You know, we're a tamed animal. I know that's probably a bad example, but it's kind of like, you know, it's kind of like a dog that's trained very well. If you go to a dog show and you try to do those things with a dog who's unruly, that dog's going to run off with the leash and not be able to have obedience and have discernment and learn and to pay attention and to really focus and delve deep into yourself and implement the meditative path. So we can't be like the dog at the dog show that's just unruly, chewing up the couch and stuff like that, because then there's no focus and there's only the rough rigidness of being human. But we have to see through the rough rigidness of being human in order to see the beauty inside of ourselves. And that's what's impactful and that's what's powerful. Choosing to be the power is knowing that the power has already been there, and that electromagnetic kinetic source energy, that pulse that is able to just connect and shooting out lightning bolts, as if you're able to really imagine it and develop it and understand that it's really just the new blood of the new prophets, the new DNA, the new sense of being. So we're all prophets. We're all here. We're all energy. We're all consciousness. We're the universe at large. And we have the ability to shed light on something and get to the heart of something, get to the matter of something. and find understanding, peace, love, and understanding. And we can find that understanding between all of us. And it's really simple. We just have to come together as humans. And that's why a lot of you want better lives. You want different lives. You want to live. You want to exist. It's kind of like from this movie, Braveheart. There was this saying, I remember I lived with my roommate and his parents for a little bit, and his dad in one of my friend's brother's room, he had a poster of Mel Gibson and Braveheart, and it said, every man dies, but not every man truly lives. And that's a true statement. Every man or woman will eventually die on this earth, but did you really live is the question. So, and we don't really die. The spirit never really dies. Maybe our physical vessel dies, but our spirit lives on, and it transcends time and space, and it lives on through others, and it lives on through everything as the light of source. The spirit lives on, and it becomes the truth that supersedes all understanding, and you become that eye of the hurricane that transcends the conditioning that we experience on a day-to-day, moment-to-moment basis. So having the ability to break free from the chains and the bondages and the leaking of energy, but to be our own force field of energy, is beautiful, because you get to live your life more fluently. So we're going to do a meditation, because I did healing energy yesterday. So we're going to do a meditation. So I hope you guys take part in this meditation. And as you're experiencing this meditation, you guys can book private sessions with me. I raised my prices. I have to do $150 for 1 hour and 2 hours for $250. And I do psychic readings online as well. I might do it around 10 or 11 tonight. Depends on, if I'm watching TV too much after this and eating dinner. So we're going to do a meditation, so feel free to tap into this meditation and to experience this free meditation. And let's just go. Everybody take a deep breath. Exhale. And if we can see ourselves as the light that's being reflected into the heart of the universe, into the heart of everyone, into the heart of beingness, and to see that the spirit lives on even before we die, even before we incarnate, the spirit always lives on, because it is the light that generates the life on earth. It is the light that comes crashing in. It changes the polarity of north, east, south, and west. And it transcends the polarity of positive and negative, light and dark. And it allows us to develop the sense of knowing who we are in this moment. To be the revelation of consciousness. To be the love revolution, but also to be the universal love that we're always seeking within one another. Universal love is a love that does not have conditioning. It does not have a point of acceptance, but it just has a point of giving. It just gives endlessly, because you are infinite in your nature. So in this moment, we're just giving our hearts, our minds, and our bodies to God's source energy and the great I Am. And we're able to know, and we're able to be, and we're able to become, here and now, so that we can let go of the bias, to let go of the energetic bondages or attachments or cords or leakages, and to tie those loose ends so that we can be in our own space of energy, to be in our own space of consciousness, and to be our own space of resonance within ourselves. And to feel into the power that is present. But in this moment, choose to live, choose to exist, and choose to love yourself, and choose to love others. And choose to be a leader and not a follower. And choose to live the best life here and now. And channel the divinity through yourself, and send out those loving vibrations, and send out those frequencies, those downloads, those codes, the DNA, and allow ourselves to embrace this cosmic codex. To impart change, to inspire, to instill, but lastly, to impart, which generates a very big impact in the lives of others, but also in your life. This is your life, this is your time, this is your glory. And it's all dependent on how you choose to live it, and how you choose to become it, and how you find the reflection of the I am presence within yourself and everything else. And if you find that, then you will live an effortless life. Just be the light of awareness, be the light of God, and just be the prophet that accepts its prophecy. Be a truth seeker. Be a truth teller. And walk with the Spirit always. To live in the Spirit, to walk in the Spirit, to know the Spirit, and to accept the Spirit within yourself is when you truly become the oracle of love, light, and wisdom. And so it is. It's starting to rain here, I think. We're getting cloudy. So I hope everyone is doing well. Thank you so much for being a part of the live. And thank you for watching. Thank you for liking. And also, if you guys want to book private sessions, it's 1 hour for $150 and 2 hours for $250. And also, I'm going to try to do live readings tonight. Depends on how I feel. Just text me or email me on TikTok. I'll send you my contact information. And also, if you see me go live doing any of the other lives, just let me know. And I hope you guys really were blessed by the meditation. And it was a blessing to be a part of your lives, and it was a blessing to share. So thank you for allowing me to share, and thank you for allowing me to impart. This is White Wolf signing off, so it is. God bless you. And until next time, as I'm hitting the table.